So I figured that while I'm on my way to the States, that I have a lot of time, so I'm gonna catch up and make some videos. So I might like post one every few days or something, and I'll be looking exactly the same. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about grief. My mother died 6 months ago. It doesn't seem like that long. I dream of her sometimes. Sometimes it's like she didn't die and I just talk to her like it was another day. And then I wake up and I'm really sad because she's not really there. Or I lay in bed and it's her old bed. It's a big queen bed, and we used to just, like, months before she, even like years, like, but the last few months before she died, I was laying in her bed every night next to her, and I look next to me and she's not there, and we used to hold hands when we were falling asleep, especially when we found out that she was dying. And it's kind of really hard. And I have her dog, and I really love him, which is surprising because he's a little dog, and I really hate little dogs, but I love him, and he's my mother's dog, and sometimes I just remember that he's my mother's dog, and when he's gone, like, what will I have living of her? I don't usually get emotional. Like, I'm actually pretty good usually, so I guess, like, compared to some people, I don't know why I deal as well as I do, but there are moments. I need to change hands, sorry. I don't know why. In general, I'm pretty good, but there are times when it's really hard, and, okay, this might be triggering for some if you've seen your loved ones die, literally die, like the state when they're dying, at the end, then this might be triggering, so tune out for a couple minutes. When I think of my mom, I remember laying next to her at the hospice bed, and she was unconscious, and she was heaving. Her whole chest would heave, and she was making this noise when she would breathe, like she had a machine inside her, and at the end she sounded like a coffee percolator, like when the coffee is going. That's what it sounded like inside her, and it was pretty devastating. There was no way if I looked away, I was hearing her die, and in the end she looked like she wasn't real, because I don't know, like, she looked like, you know those wax people? Like, she was made of wax. She was kind of glistery, and I would touch her face, and like the way she would when I was a little girl, to soothe me. And I was singing her the song that she would sing to me when I was little, Sweet Molly Malone. And I get to the end, and it's like she died of a fever and no one could save her, and that was the end of Sweet Molly Malone. And I sang it over and over again because it was that song for her, but it was really hard. And then the heaving stopped, and you would think that I would be devastated, and you know, in a way it was, but mostly I was incredibly relieved, because I couldn't take hearing her breathe like that. I wanted to just, like, grab, like, a fistful of Ativan and shove it in her throat so she could just die, because the way she was dying was, I just don't want to ever experience that. Ever. And seeing her go through it was really hard. And, when I think of my mom, often I think of that day. And I don't think of all the good things, I think of that. And the way she suffered, and the way she looked, just lying there dead. And she was just... I lied with her body for a long time. Just a second, I'm apparently not allowed to stay here. I'm gonna come back. So I had to move the car, which I did without a license and with Tourette's. Because my sister's getting her passport. Yeah, okay, at least I'm less emotional right now. Yeah, so I'm just saying that when I think of my mom, I have a hard time thinking of her alive and the times that we spent together, which I do sometimes, but mostly if I think about her or mention her and I say, hey, you should do that with mom, and then I don't say it to whoever I'm talking to, but I get incredibly sad. And I just think about that day and the way she looked just laying there when the time after she was gone, and grief is really hard, and I don't know how to deal with her just not being here. And it's not fair that she went so young, and that I was so young when she passed. I mean, I'm supposed to be, I don't know, 60 years old or something. I'm supposed to be 60 when she passes away or something. And it's not fair. I mean, these things that are gonna happen in my life, and now I'm recovering. I'm doing so much better in my recovery. And I'd love to tell her that it's been almost a year since I've cut her, been to the hospital. It's gonna be a year very soon. And, I'm off my meds, my antidepressants. I don't need them anymore. And I'm doing well, and I don't even get to tell her. And I don't get to tell her that now I'm a certified peer specialist, and I help people in counseling, and I don't get to tell her. And if I take in these foster kids, that's my goal. If I can raise enough money, I mean make enough revenue every month, then I would qualify to take in foster kids, and I don't even get to tell her that I would accomplish that. I don't get to tell her any of that, and it's not fair. It's not fair. And I'm really sad, and I don't know exactly how to deal with this grief exactly. It's not something, I mean, I've had a lot of people die lately. I mean, a few years ago, my grandpa died, and then my grandma died, and then my mother died, and then my mother's father died, biological father. He's not really my grandfather, he's biologically hers, but my grandfather was my grandfather, the man who married my grandfather. My grandmother, after my mother was born, is my grandfather. So he died, and they all died, and crap, I didn't even pay the meter. I'm just not good at this stuff. I should do that. I don't even think I have money. I suck. Anyways, I'm just saying, I can't really say how to deal with the grief. I'm just saying this is what I'm going through, and maybe some of you can relate. And I'm sorry if that was triggering. I just really wanted to make it clear what I was feeling and why I was feeling and what I'm going through, and maybe some of you can relate to that. I wish I could give advice on how to deal with grief at this point. Like, I'm still figuring it out for myself. So, that's my video. I'm sorry if it was long. I have no idea, how long. Yeah, sorry. Bye. So, now I'm gonna interview Juanita about, dealing with Mom's death. I know I rambled a long time and, like, bawled in your face and stuff, but now it's Juanita's turn. I don't even know if I caught my own face or if I was, like, pointing at my chest, which would have been awkward. Okay,
that could have been awkward.
It could have been. So...
But you don't know, so it's not.
Who knows? So I was gonna ask Juanita how she was dealing with Mom's death after 6 months. And you said?
I don't know how I'm dealing with it.
Okay. So, is there ever moments where, like, you're really, really sad?
yeah, like when there's something I'm wanting to tell her, and I realize I can't
Okay.
because she's not around.
I think I made the same point earlier too, so that's common. At least between us, yeah. So, okay. Yeah.
Was talking with a friend online, and he was saying about how that for him it's like years ago him and his wife ended up getting an abortion, and they felt really bad about it, and he ends up seeing his daughter all grown up, and they believe in like the afterlife, like seeing the ghost of people and being able to talk with them. And to me that's just weird. I wouldn't, I'm personally, like, I know that people believe in that and it's fine that they do, but to me, I'm rather happy I don't, because I mean, the person would be miserable seeing us the way we're living and how sad we are, and that they can't incorporate themselves into our lives or help us anything. Like, they can't do anything for us. They're just there watching us be miserable. So it'd be kind of sad. I don't know. But yeah, so.
How do you feel about your memories of the day Mom died? You were with me in the hospice.
How do I feel about them?
Like, do you ever think back about that day and like remember Mom that way?
No.
Well, that's good. Because the way I feel is pretty shitty about it.
I don't. No, that day I felt worse for you than I did about what was going on. Because I could see that it was affecting you a lot, so I tried to not burst out laughing.
You tried to not burst out laughing at my pain?
Not at your pain, at Mom. She sounded like a coffee machine. It was funny.
Okay, just a second. She thought it was funny, and me, it traumatized me.
That's why I wasn't laughing.
When I hear a coffee machine percolating, I get extremely PTSD, and sometimes my parrot makes this kind of a weird noise that sounds a little bit similar, and I make her stop. Despite the fact that other people think it's cute, I make her stop. And she thought it was funny.
Mom would have too.
Mom would have found it funny that someone sounded like a coffee percolator.
No, Mom would find it funny that she sounded like one. You know it's true.
We'll tell Mom about that when we see her in the new system.
We will.
Under her big tree, under the big tree that she dreamed about.
We will.
As Jehovah's
laugh.
As Jehovah's Witnesses, we believe that in the resurrection, and that my mother is going to come back to life along with everyone else's loved ones, and in a paradise earth the way Adam and Eve lived, the way we were supposed to live if they hadn't have messed up. So that's what we believe, and my mother believed very firmly in that. She wasn't afraid to die because she believed very much that she was going to come back and see us all under the big this big tree by the ocean, and she was going to serve lemonade, was it she said? Yes. She was going to serve all her loved ones lemonade and tea. So we're going to see my mom under the big tree, and Juanita's going to tell her that she sounded like a coffee percolator, and I'm going to ask her why she was crying when she was unconscious. If she heard me singing to her. I want to know if she heard me singing to her. And I want to know why tears were rolling out of her eyes. So, anyways,
ooh, that's a big bridge.
I mean, if you want to know more about my faith, and if you're interested in it, you can email me, PM me about it, and, I can tell you about it, but like I'm not gonna push my faith on anyone. It's just that if you're interested, title it something about the subject. So, anyways, I just wanted to show my sister's side of it too. She's laughing.
Well, I'm sorry, but I was trying so hard that day to not laugh because I saw how bad it was hurting you, and it was just damn funny.
I still don't think it's funny. I'm PTSD over it. Like, I'm not PTSD over my childhood abuse anymore,
I think this is
but I'm PTSD over the day my mother died and the way she died. Oh, is that Pont La Fontaine? Oh no, that's Tunnel La Fontaine.
We don't want Tunnel La Fontaine. We want Pont Champlain.
We want Pont Champlain.
And this is a freaking huge bridge, so it might be what we want.
Well, we want Autoroute 25 South.
We want Pont Champlain, okay?
Okay.
Don't go off about that because we don't know where we are.
I don't know where we are, and I don't know how to read a map, so I'm a completely useless co-pilot.
Correct. But I love you anyways.
Yeah. Oh, there's a guy who wants to wash our windows, and a girl that wants to wash our windows while she smokes. But my windows are nice. They want to know what you were doing.
They do that. But they're not even here.
Well, I was curious. It looked very suspicious, like in secret and stuff. And she was trying to get it behind my back while I was distracted.
It was in my purse. It's behind your back, so of course.
We're fighting.
Like we always do. We're siblings. That's what we're made to do.
Okay. Okay, so that's I'm gonna edit this to shit because it's really a lot of bull amongst it. But yeah, anyways, I hope this meant something. Toodaloos. Sorry, that's my notes. Bye.